Welcome to Eat Your Peas, the podcast about doing what's good for yourself, even when you don't feel like it. I'm Lily Rachels, and I'm serving up bite-sized growth principles to help you build happier and healthier relationships. Hey guys, welcome back to Eat Your Peas. Today I'm going to tell you about the 7 seconds of silence rule. When I was working as a therapist, there would often be long periods of silence within the conversation, especially when working with adolescents. You would ask an open-ended question, and they would give you a little bit of information. And it was really hard when I first started not to fill it, right? Not to ask another question or try to dig a little deeper. But when you would sit in the silence and kind of give them a second, they would then volunteer more information. This idea has come back up for me lately because I found myself constantly trying to fill the silence when I'm in conversation. Because silence can be uncomfortable sometimes, especially if it's a hard conversation with someone and there's that lull. I would always want to interject something, maybe kind of say something to alleviate the situation, make it a little more comfortable, whatever I could do to just kind of tweak that uncomfortable emotional feeling that I have around silence and make it a little more positive. But I caught myself on this because what happens is when we try to fill that silence, we cut off the other person and what they might have told us. I am an external processor, meaning I have to talk about it in order to understand it and think it through. But a lot of people are internal processors. They have to think it through before they can talk about it. So I would find myself in conversation with someone that was much more of an internal processor. And whenever that silence was there, I would fill it because I need to say something in order to keep this thought process going. But I was taking away the opportunity for the internal processor to have a second to think through it and get their words out. So in the 7 seconds of silence rule, that's just it. When you get to an uncomfortable amount of time where it's been quiet, you count to 7 before you say anything. For instance, if I tell you something and it's quiet just like it is now, in my head I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And at that point, I can then ask another open-ended question. And what you're doing is you're giving them more time because in an uncomfortable silent situation, we always think more time has elapsed than actually has. So that's why I always tack on that extra 7 seconds. So my advice to you or encouragement to you this week is to lean into the silence and give them that extra 7 seconds or whatever number it is you want to land on. But give them that extra amount of time before you interject, before you continue your thought or give your opinion or pry for more information. It's okay to sit in the uncomfortable. Give someone 7 seconds. Don't forget to eat your peas. See you next week.